We often carry more than we realize, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. The undone tasks, delayed decisions, and the constant sense of being overwhelmed form a quiet storm inside us. Life can start to feel like a breathless race, where the finish line keeps moving further away. In that chaos, it's easy to believe that feeling drained is just a part of modern living. But what if there's a gentler way? A way not built on miracles or drastic changes, but rooted in wisdom, Japanese wisdom that invites us to slow down, reassess, and breathe again. This isn't about throwing away everything you own or adopting an extreme lifestyle. It's about rediscover seeing with new eyes what really matters. In Japan, there's a cultural appreciation for simplicity, for the kind of quiet clarity that comes from letting go of excess. The simple habit, born from that very philosophy, can change your life not with noise, but with calm. It gently asks, what if freedom isn't about adding more, but releasing what no longer serves you? Stick with me to the end, because we're about to explore a habit that could very well transform your space, your mind, and your soul. At the heart of this transformation lies a concept known as Danshari. This Japanese practice is more than just minimalist living. It's a philosophy, a mindset, and a lifestyle choice. The word itself is a combination of three powerful ideas: Dan, refuse; Sha, discard; and re-separate or detach. Together, they form a practice that encourages intentional living, helping you say no to unnecessary things, discard what no longer serves you, and finally free yourself from the mental and emotional clutter that weighs you down. But make no mistake, Danshari goes far beyond organizing your closet or cleaning up your desk. It's not just about physical items. It's about creating space within yourself. When we talk about simplifying our surroundings, what we're really doing is creating a ripple effect that reaches into our thoughts, our emotions, and even our relationships. Danshari invites us to break free from the idea that we need more to be fulfilled. Instead, it offers us peace through less distraction, less obligation, less pressure. And in that less, we find more clarity, more energy, more life. Look around your home. How many things are just sitting there unused and forgotten? Maybe it's clothes you haven't worn in years, gadgets gathering dust, or stacks of books you never finished. These aren't just objects, they're silent stressors. Each item we keep just in case is a small burden we've accepted, and over time, they accumulate into something much heavier than we ever anticipated. The real cost of clutter isn't about space, it's about peace of mind. And it's not just physical things. Think about the emotional expectations, the unfinished projects, the relationships you maintain out of guilt. These too are clutter. Danshari teaches us to recognize that clutter in all its forms, and to begin the process of releasing it. This is why it's so powerful. When you clear your environment, you often find your internal world becomes clearer too. Less noise, fewer distractions, more room to breathe. You do need a perfectly clean house to feel calm. You just need to remove the weight you didn't even realize you were carrying. We spend most of our lives in places like our homes or workplaces, but instead of being places of peace, they often become battlegrounds of mess and chaos. It's no wonder we feel tired and unfocused when everything around you screams for attention. How can your mind rest? Danshari encourages us to transform our physical spaces into sanctuary spaces that support us, not suffocate us. You don't need a magazine-worthy interior. You need a space that feels light, balanced, and supportive. This transformation starts by asking simple yet powerful questions. Does this item serve a purpose? Does it bring me joy? Does it support the life I want to live? When you answer honestly, the path becomes clear. You begin to see how your surroundings are shaping your energy, your thoughts, and even your choices. Removing the excess isn't about deprivation, it's about giving your best self room to grow. A tidy room becomes more than just visually pleasing, it becomes emotionally healing. It becomes a daily reminder that you deserve peace, and that peace is something you can create. One of the hardest parts of Danshari is letting go, not because it's physically difficult, but because it stirs something deeper inside us. We hold on to things because of what they meant to us. The sweater that reminds us of a loved one, the old notebooks from a time we cherished, the souvenirs that make us smile. But here's the truth. The memories live in us, not in the objects. Danshari isn't about erasing the past, it's about honoring it while making room for the future. When we let go, we reclaim our power. We stop living in someday and start living in the now. That empty shelf, it's not a loss, it's a symbol of freedom. That cleared out drawer, it's a breath of fresh air. Emotional decluttering is not about forgetting. It's about choosing what memories and emotions we carry with intention. We learn to keep what matters and release what weighs us down. In doing so, we create space not just in our homes, but in our hearts for new joys, new dreams, and new beginnings. We live in a world that tells us more is better. More clothes, more gadgets, more options. But that constant more becomes an invisible weight we carry. What Danshari offers is the opposite. It shows us the value of lightness, not just physical, but emotional and mental. When we choose to let go of excess, we also choose presence. We become more aware of what we truly need and what actually adds value to our lives. And this isn't a what-time project. It's a daily decision, a mindset shift. Every day, we can choose to live with intention. We can ask, is this essential? Does this support who I am becoming? This habit rewires the way we relate to our things and to ourselves. When you start practicing Danshari, you're not just clearing space. You're making a statement that your peace matters, your clarity matters, and your life deserves room to flourish. So begin today, even with one drawer, one shelf, one small choice, and slowly, you'll feel the freedom, the lightness, the quiet joy of less.